Music is frequency programming. Music is frequency. What frequency are you being fed? If I play with those frequencies, right, I can target certain parts of the mind, target the frequency to go to certain parts of the mind, and I can literally, if I want you to astral project, or if I want you to go to sleep, or if I want you to go into a meditative state, I can make my music do that.
The brain processes information electrically. It communicates with the cellular structure electrically, and it operates within a certain band of frequency. If you can broadcast frequencies carrying information, this technology has long been known, carrying information and perceptions within the frequency that the brain decodes information, the brain will decode those frequencies and will have those perceptions. You can externally influence people's perceptions externally by broadcasting these frequencies that we interact with, because we are antenna.
The sad reality is that where we now play our music is in A440. Where did that come from? It used to be 417. A440 came in with the Roman Catholic Church. They suppressed the frequencies. They lost somehow the 152 of the best Gregorian chants, including the hymn to St. John the Baptist, which we've now recovered. That particular hymn was what triggered Dr. Palaio's investigation, looking for those frequencies of vibration by which the music was played. It was known as the most uplifting hymn of all the ages, the most spiritually uplifting hymn. Hymn to St. John the Baptist. It was played to 6 tones. These are those 6 tones. These are those 6 frequencies. And so the A440 is what now is the standard tuning. If you go A439, you're closer to one of the Creator's tones. If you go A441, you're closer to one of the Creator's original tones. That's how precisely it has been manipulated. To do what? To shut down the 95% of your brain, particularly the right brain that operates the heart mind to the divine human community.
Some decades ago, there was a guy who worked out the frequencies of different emotional states. This is long ago. I mean, it's very, very sophisticated now. So every thought, every emotional response is a frequency. It generates a frequency, and it is of itself a frequency. Hate is a frequency, and it's different to love. You know, when you are in a room and there's lots of aggression and conflict and hatred, you feel it. What do people say? Oh God, you can cut the atmosphere with a knife in there. That is because the frequencies of hate and conflict have been so generated, they have changed the electromagnetic field of the room.
When you go driving your car, and your channel on the radio is tuned to a station, and you're grooving to the music, you love that music. As you get farther and farther away from the broadcasting tower, that music gets static. You start to lose the signal from the clear channel, broadcast, and it gets staticky. When it gets staticky, you get a little annoyed. But you want to listen to it. You really have a heart for that music. So you continue to listen to it for another 10, 15 miles, and suddenly it becomes so annoying that you just get disgusted, you go, and you shut it off. And if you continue to listen to it, you get sick. That's what we're talking about here. Except you don't even know that you've been listening to the static your whole life. You don't even know what the true resonant frequency is, because it has been kept.
Now, of course, to really be effective, we need to use the proper words and phrases, scientifically selected. But that gives you the basic idea. We embed messages just below the threshold of perception, so they can go directly into the subconscious.
They can play across a community these frequencies without anyone knowing, and it starts to have an effect, and it starts to build rage, it starts to build anger. And people might not realize why they're feeling it, they start to feel it. And then what they do is they trigger that with an event maybe, some guy is attacked by the police or something, or somebody's arrested for something they didn't commit. And now there's the trigger. The blue touch paper's been lit of this manufactured, frequency-driven rage, and you have mass riots and what have you, and people do things that they wouldn't normally do.
So in other words, the master composer, master conductor of the Universal Orchestra is singing love songs in 5/8, uplifting everything simultaneously. And we're the only species out of tune and accepting static for the clear channel.
Do you know that the American military, they've admitted this. They have technology that fires frequencies at the enemy that basically breaks the enemy's spirit, so they give up and put their weapons down. This is the technology we're dealing with.
Shalom, shalom. HALALYAM, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Allah tells them goodbye, coming at you from the prophets in Babylon camp here in Tampa, Florida. Double honors be to the elders and apostles of great millstone to teach them well. Peace and salutations be to hopeful elect. I'm gonna get in on this quick hit before work. Going into these sound frequencies, these music frequencies. You hear the dude XXX, Tentacion, say he can control you through music frequencies. If he wants his music to hit a certain area or a certain emotion, he can control you by that. Now he can cause you to go to sleep, he can cause you to astral project, whatever, man. But what's really intriguing is how the Edomite said this technology has been long known. So they've had this thing, man. Something that they've perfected by this point, And so what do you think they're gonna do when they put these this MOTB in you, man? This CHIP in you. They're going to control you through frequencies, because now they got a radio. That's literally what they got a radio frequency, CHIP inside of you. They can send out signals when and where it will, man. They can cause you to be angry, they can cause you to be sad, they can cause you to be obedient. Through the frequencies, they can send out through this MOTB, man. That's why the scripture says, whosoever shall give consent to them shall be had under derision and trodden underfoot, Because now these people are going to use you. There's nothing you can do about it. They're going to use you up to the way they want to, and there's nothing you can do about it, man. Let me grab that scripture. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 69. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. Okay, so let's start at verse before. It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, which is these Edomites, man. They're about to come down in great wrath, like Revelation 12:12 tells you. It says, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idol. What does it mean to be idle? I mean, you ain't doing nothing. You're just a vain man. And you got 2/3 of our people are vain men. They're the ones that's being idle. They're gonna get fed with things that are idle, that are offered unto idols, which is what? Like the MOTB, man. That MOTB, the CHIP is gonna be offered into an idol. You think they're not praying over this thing, man? To demons. They're not casting spells upon this thing. Exactly what they're doing, man. They're conditioning it, rating and fashioning it up to be inside of you. And then it goes on. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. So you give the consent to them to do these things, you know, because they're going to deceive you. They're going to deceive you. You're going to be had in derision and trodden underfoot. And look at these 5G towers, man. These 5G towers give out frequencies as well, man. You know, and now you're going to have a connector, like a magnetic pull for those frequencies from the 5G towers in your hand or in your forehead. And they're getting ready to roll this thing out at any moment. You know, this devil talking about December 13th. He's going to protect us from cash. What does that mean? I mean, there's going to be no more cash. What are you going to do? What are you going to pay with? You know? They're shutting down banks. You got these celebrities canceling their shows. You know? What's about to unfold? We're at the brink of a new world order right now, man. A new world change, a great big change that's going to affect the global population. It's going to affect the world globally. Okay. It says, and they that consent unto them, and this is a prophecy, shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. So you're going to be forced to submit to this devil. You know, he's going to force you to submit to him. There's not much you can do about it. You know, once you accept it, it's over, and then there's no repentance. Now you gotta die for it, man. You know, so your flesh has been marked, man. Flesh has been stained with the mark of death. Cause it all. Give me 1 second. This book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So what? When you get this thing in your hand, he's gonna control whether he wants you to buy this, whether he wants you to buy that. He's going to pretty much live inside of you, man. He's going to live inside of you, and that's really what the temple of the Lord, YAHAWASHI. So he's trying to sit in the temple of the Lord, YAHAWASHI, man. As scripture tells you. Let me grab it. When you look at these animals, or look at these insects, you got the snail. You got the snail, man. A lot of snails die and they fall to this one parasitical disease, man. Or it's a disease where a parasite invades their body and it starts hijacking their motor system, which is their brain, you know. So even though the body of the snail has been long dead, the snail's body is still moving because that parasite has activated. It's up there and it's hijacking their brain, and it's using its nutrients to support the brain, so it keeps the body moving, man. And that's kind of like how this devil Esau is. That's kind of how he's trying to be. You're gonna have people that are in zombified states, and Esau's still gonna be controlling them to the MOTB because it has frequencies that can direct your brain or tell your brain to do this or tell your brain to do that, and the body's gonna do it. You know, that's just how the body works. The brain sends out signals or electrical signals to the body and says, "Oh, scratch my arm because it's itchy," or "Move your right leg, it's time to walk forward. Step up the step." This is how we get up these steps. And this devil gonna be able to do this, control your movements and whatever you do, what you believe in, things that you think and your emotions through these frequencies, RFID, CHIP, man. But his ultimate goal is to set up home base within the body. How's he gonna do that? Putting a CHIP in everybody, man. This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2 and verse 4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself. I'll start at verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, which has already happened, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. And he's revealing himself now, the son of perdition. This is right after the fall away. It's what? The waking up, man. the restoring health into our bones. It says, the son of perdition. It says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, shewing himself that he is God. And the scripture talks about, here, I'll grab it. And this devil thinks he can do this because he wants to become God. He wants to become the Most High. You know, that's where that's where he's going off at. That's why he's got to be put down, completely eradicated. It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? So you're the temple of the Lord. YAHAWASHI, MILLSTONE, you Israelites, man. He dwells in you, man. And for you to put that damn... It's lucky. I didn't expect the window to roll down this far. For you to put that damn beast's mark within you, it's like you're disclaiming the Lord. You're like you don't want to claim the Lord. You want to claim Esau, the damn devil, as your dad. That's why Yahushua say, ye are of your father the devil. He was a liar from the beginning. And guess what? He's about to put his mark on you, his signature on you, to show that you're his kids. That's why you got to perish, die the death of an Edomite, die the death of a heathen, which is what? Through thermonuclear fire, that second death, man. But the scripture says here, know ye not that ye are the temple of YAHAWASHI, MILLSTONE? So it says here clearly that your bodies belong to the Lord, man. That is the temple, you know. And this devil's trying to sit in that temple by what? Putting his mark in you, man. Putting his charagma in you, man. You get this charagma, you're going to die. There's no doubt about it. But as the guy said in the video, humans are vibrational beings. They're frequency beings. They have frequencies, and they can be controlled by frequencies or manipulated by frequencies through music, what they hear, you know, just the frequencies put out. You can be controlled by frequencies that you can't even hear, you know. So that being said, man, that's all I really wanted to get into. I just arrived to the destination. So I truly hope this lesson was edifying to you. Akim and Agwatham, and listening to sincerity. This next round, RAWCHAA, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Shalom.